Hello and welcome to the Property News here on Magic Quicks. Now I am Krishna Kumar. Let's take a look at the top stories that we're tracking. The Karnataka High Court gives BBMP 3-month ultimatum to decide the fate of Orion Mall, JW Marriott and ETA Mall. Orders the BBMP to work on a compensation for residents. Mumbai's odd-even plan has been shelved. Civic body, the BBMP, is set to beef up public transport to ease traffic. Magic Quicks now gets you exclusive details. Round 3 of AAP versus Lieutenant Governor turf war. Lieutenant Governor Najib Jung transfers senior bureaucrats. AAP Supremo Arvind Kejriwal cries conspiracy. Starting with our continued focus, Bengaluru demolition drive. Finally, 2 big builders and a star hotel have come under the civic body BBMP scanner after a PIL was filed in the Karnataka High Court by Advocate Mohan. High Court has given the BBMP 3 months to decide the fate of Orion Mall, ETA Mall and JW Marriott. The PIL has alleged that big developers have encroached over stormwater drains. And in also what comes as a big relief for over 100 residents, the court has observed that BBMP should work on a compensation scheme for residents whose homes were demolished. We caught up with Advocate Mohan, who filed the PIL at the Karnataka High Court. Listen to what he had to say.
The Honorable Court of Chief Justice Mr. Subramanian Mukherjee and Justice Ravi Malimat were pleased to direct the petition Samarpana, which is a NGO organization, to give a representative to the BBMP Commissioner, wherein the BBMP Commissioner has to ascertain the factual position as on today, and after hearing all the stakeholders, necessary parties in this matter, has to take a decision within 3 months. So in this matter, the properties involved is that one ETA Mall, wherein they are constructed over the park and playfield reserved for the playground, which is a Binnipet area, so which is also has been encroached, and construction has been in spite of the objections by the BBMP. Then as far as the Marriott Road is concerned and the Orion Mall Brigade Gateway is concerned, they have constructed the property over a stormwater drain, which is also illegal. And the BBMP Commissioner, as far as in 2011 itself, has passed an order to take action against the executive engineer then who has allowed the stormwater drain line to be deviated from the without passing inside the property, which is about to the extent of 3.8 acres. So under these circumstances, now the court directed the BBMP Commissioner to examine the actual factual situation as on today and then pass necessary orders. That the Chief Minister has taken a decision to provide alternate properties like apartments, BDA or whatever it is there, or housing board. Under these circumstances, my client did not press the prayer of providing alternate property or the compensation.
I think there is a general pattern that when it comes to corruption and malgovernance, over the years it is only the innocent victim. The innocent victims always happen to be helpless homeowners or helpless citizens. And I think that needs to change. And when laws are broken, it cannot be the case of any government, popularly elected government, that the first victim of that is the citizen. It should be the people who have benefited from the law breaking. And the second fact is that seems to be a double standard in terms of the demolition, where the rich and the connected and the powerful are being let off, and it is only the helpless individual homeowner or flat owner that is being targeted. I think we are coming together today to A, ask for accountability of the government, B, seek prosecution of those who are guilty and who are part of this whole corrupt ecosystem, and third is compensation for those who have genuinely got their approvals from the municipal body, built their homes or bought their flats, and then find themselves now homeless. And we are saying that if the government doesn't do this on their own, we will approach the courts. But the fact that in Karnataka for some time there has been this culture within the government, this government and previous government, of people who are in power indulging in, unfortunately, real estate linked deals is now becoming visible. When you have the topmost officer of a government also being accused of land related scams, then you know what kind of a culture is there underlying it. So this is what we need to change.
Now, as buyers cry foul and allege that the BBMP has targeted middle-class families, our correspondent Amita Balachandra, who had got in touch with the BBMP Commissioner Manjunath Reddy, gets us an exclusive update on what exactly the BBMP is mulling at this point in time.
Well, Chief Minister Siddaramaya's intervention in Bengaluru has made the civic body BBMP change its stance slightly on the demolition drive. They're looking at 38 drain stretches that fall in Bomanhalli and Mahadevapura zones on priority. Encroachments on these drain stretches will be taken care of first. That's one. Second, what they're also doing is that the PIL that was disposed of at the High Court, when the High Court asked the petitioner in question here, Advocate Mohan, to approach the BBMP, they say that he has not approached the BBMP, and only when he does so will they be able to take some sort of action on the two big malls and one hotel in question here. What we also understand from the Commissioner himself is that they are drawing up a list of low-income groups or affected families in Bengaluru, and post drawing up that list, they will send it to the Chief Minister, and only then can they figure out if some sort of compensation has to be given to these affected families.
The Bengaluru civic body has demolished over 100 homes without giving citizens any notice, using a questionable 100-year-old village map.
Up-to-date tax we have paid. We have put a government agency on there.
Magic Bricks now raised the issue and asked the government for answers. How long does it take to put it up on the website? Why is that map not public? BBMP and the government bow down and accept citizens' demands.
They have in fact uploaded it online. In fact, the BBMP Commissioner had also promised us on Magic Bricks Now that they will upload it in the next 3 to 5 days.
Magic Bricks Now editor Faye D'Souza had asked the government to ensure a list of the sort is put out on the website, and Mega Magic Bricks Now impact over there.
I would like to congratulate both you and your channel for raising the issues of the common people.
Magic Bricks Now, putting citizens first.
Away from Bengaluru and on to the national capital, where Lieutenant Governor Ajib Jung has transferred senior bureaucrats, and in retaliation, Aam Aadmi Party Supremo Arvind Kejriwal has fired a fresh salvo targeting Prime Minister Modi yet again. He said, and I quote, "Today several officers transferred by the Lieutenant Governor directly, files not even shown to CM or any minister. Is this Modi model of democracy? ? Modi ji is hell-bent on destroying Delhi through LG, unquote." Just a reminder to our viewers, this comes weeks after the Delhi High Court order which said that the Lieutenant Governor was the administrative head of the city.
दिल्ली में एक पीडब्ल्यूडी सेक्रेटरी नहीं रहने दे सकते, दिल्ली में एक हेल्थ सेक्रेटरी जो मेडिकल फील्ड का इतना बड़ा जानकार है उसको नहीं रहने दे सकते, एक इंजीनियर को पीडब्ल्यूडी सेक्रेटरी नहीं बने रहने दे सकते। उन्हीं के भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार है छत्तीसगढ़ में, वहां अमन सिंह नाम के एक ऑफिसर है जो लगातार आईएएस के एक्स कैडर पोस्ट पर बैठते हैं और हमेशा उन्हें नियम को किनारे करके बनाया जाता है। तो देश में इस तरह का नजीर पहली बार नहीं है, लेकिन हमने जो प्रयोग किया कि एक बहुत बढ़िया इंजीनियर को उठा के पीडब्ल्यूडी सेक्रेटरी बनाइए, एक मेडिकल के जानकार को, डॉक्टर को आप हेल्थ सेक्रेटरी बनाइए, और वो काम कर रहे हैं, उन्होंने डिलीवरी की है दिल्ली के लोगों के लिए, इसलिए प्रॉब्लम हो रही है। मोदी जी ने बहुत बड़ा रोड़ा डाला है, ऑफिसर्स को हटा के वहां से जो ऑफिसर 1000, मैं आपके माध्यम से यही बताने आया हूं दिल्ली की जनता को कि 1000 मोहल्ला क्लिनिक बनाने के लिए जो दिन रात काम चल रहा था उसके ऑफिसर को हटा दिया गया है। अब मोहल्ला क्लिनिक नहीं बनेंगे तो उसके लिए मोदी जी जिम्मेदार हैं।
Now, the Maharashtra government is not in favor of an odd-even scheme for Mumbai. Magic Bricks Now learns from sources in the BMC that the state would much rather concentrate on beefing up public transport and, in fact, to rope in citizens to manage traffic. These details come from a meeting that BMC officials had with the state about their proposed odd-even plan. We have Disha Shah getting us exclusive details of what exactly was discussed in that meeting in this report. Take a look.
The state government is not keen on implementing the odd and even scheme in Mumbai, the plan which was essentially to curb the vehicular traffic and, to keep a check on the rising air pollution across the city. However, the state government is quite not positive about the plan, is what the senior BMC officials told Magic Bricks Now. In fact, they also told us that despite sending several drafts the state government is quite uncertain that the plan won't work in Mumbai, as Mumbaikars are very habituated to use public transport, and they'll be happy to use public transport if more such public transport is made available to them in maximum numbers. This is what BMC officials told Magic Bricks Now, that this is the response that they have got from the state government. In fact, what we also learned from the officials is that they are planning more feet on the ground to keep a check on the vehicle-led traffic. They are going to revive, they are considering to revive the traffic warden system, which essentially means that more volunteers would be present at key junctions who will man only the vehicular movement across the city. In fact, as per the latest statistics that we have got to know, there are currently 3,000 traffic policemen across the city, and the state government has asked BMC to provide 1,000 more wardens so that the vehicular traffic the movement is checked on a regular basis. But all said and done, as per what we learned from the BMC officials, is that Mumbai is unlikely to get an odd and even scheme across the city. This is Disha Shah reporting for Magic Bricks Now.
Keeping it with Mumbai, the lack of bids for Dharavi's redevelopment has prompted the Dharavi Redevelopment Authority to consider other models. Sources have told us that Dharavi might be redeveloped through 8 subsectors, for which developers for each subsector will be decided by the DRA. We have Amita Balachandra getting us more details on Dharavi's redevelopment story.
Well, there is no definite decision taken on how DRA will redevelop Dharavi at this point in time. What we understand is that a closed-door meeting was held over the last week, and in that they decided a couple of models that they are mulling over. Really, one is to divide 4 sectors present at this point in time, to divide them into sub-sectors. So there essentially will be 8 sectors, and each sector will have about 7 to 8 developers, which will be shortlisted by DRA. Post which the society or the sector will figure out which developer they want based on a bidding process, is what we are understanding from our sources. However, this is not the only proposal. SRA scheme is another model that DRA wishes to look at. These are the 2 proposals that they have put forth to the government. The file is made ready, is what we understand. We also understand that sector 1 will perhaps be left out of the redevelopment because they did not agree with the houses, with the sizes of the houses that they've been given. But however, there is no definite decision taken on how they're going to redevelop Dharavi, and that's something that we'll keep a close watch on. However, we also understand that over the next 1 week, a decision is likely on this. This is Amita Balachandra for Magic Bricks Now.
On that note, let's take a look at what else is making headlines across the country.
Haryana Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar will take up the complaints of residents on September 5th. These complaints will be addressed in a district committee meeting, and the complainants include home buyers along with the residents. The agenda for this meeting includes 16 issues related to project delays and other irregularities in the housing projects. The meeting will also address issues such as encroachments on government land. The last grievance committee meeting was held on June 16th. The Chief Public Relations Officer or CPRO of the Bangalore Metro Rail Corporation Limited or BMRCL UA Vasant Rao has taken the Twitter route to promote the amenities it's planning to give its passengers. CPRO tweeted out a number of planned commercial by the BMRCL on Monday. Some of the amenities planned include a daycare center, incubation center, family mall, mobile store and e-logistics. Apart from these, Nama metro stations will also have coffee shops and takeaway breakfast facilities. President Pranab Mukherjee has approved the Enemy Property Amendment and Validation 4th Ordinance 2016. Enemy property refers to any property belonging to, held or managed on behalf of an enemy subject or an enemy firm. As for the proposed amendments, once an enemy property is vested in the custodian, it shall continue to be vested in him as enemy property. The amendments are aimed at plugging the loopholes in the Act to ensure that the enemy properties that have been vested in the custodian remain so and do not revert to the enemy subject or enemy firm.
Now, Delhi's Water Resources Minister Kapil Mishra and Delhi Jal Board have held their 128th board meeting where key decisions were announced to increase water supply across the national capital, especially to Jhuggi Jhopri clusters and slum dwellers. The government has decided to press ahead with the Jal Adhikar scheme, which aims to provide legal water connections to every household in Delhi to curb wastage and illegal tapping of water lines. Take a look at what citizens have had to say.
यहाँ पे वैसे तो पानी है पर बट दूर दूर से तो भर के लाना ही पड़ता है, लेकिन अगर घर घर में हो जाता तो हमारे लिए ज्यादा अच्छा है, सभी खुश हो जाएंगे। ये तो सरकार ने बहुत अच्छा सोचा है।
अभी यही है कि नलके यहाँ पे हैं दूर, तो जो है अफोर्ड करने के लिए वो तो अपने घर में कनेक्शन लगवा ले रहे हैं, मगर यहाँ पे कुछ बंदे ऐसे भी हैं जो नहीं अफोर्ड कर पाते, तो उन्हें दूर से भरना पड़ता है। फिर वहाँ पे पानी कैसा आ रहा है, साफ आ रहा है, गंदा आ रहा है, उनसे तो फिर कुछ कर नहीं पड़ते ना।
कल बारिश यहाँ पर पड़ी थी तो कम से कम नहीं यहाँ तक इन लकड़ियों तक पानी आ गया था। ये जो नीचे वाली झुग्गियाँ हैं सारी इस नाले के पास में सारी आधी आधी डूब चुकी थी। इधर ये साइड में है WHO के बराबर में नाला है, इसका भी पूरा भरा हुआ था।
ये देखो, ये पानी नहीं निकलता है, इतना पानी घर में घुस जाता है तो पानी कैसे निकलेगा, कहाँ से सफाई होगी, कैसे होगी? गरीब आदमी खाएगा या कमाएगा या बच्चों को पालेगा, कैसे क्या होगा?
Well, from that on to our continued coverage of project delays across the country, we revisit the case of 3,500 home buyers in DB Royalties Ozone project in Dahisar in Mumbai. These buyers have been waiting for 4 long years for their homes that they booked way back in 2008. In a statement, the DB Realty management had promised on our show, The Urban Debate, that they would start handing over the projects by August 2016. But as Magic Bricks now found, nothing has been done on the ground. Aggrieved home buyers are now seeking legal recourse. Here is a special report.
They were promised possession of their homes in 2012. But 4 years past the promised date, 3,500 home buyers of DB Royalties Ozone project in Dahisar, Mumbai are still waiting for the keys to their home.
From almost 7 years, I want to ask this question to Shahid Walwa, Vinod Goenka, Vipul Bansal and Mr. Gattu. आप मुझे बताओ कौन सा फ्लैट रेडी है और रहने लायक है? आप लोग टीवी में इंटरव्यू देते हैं कि ऑल आर फिनिश मोड पे है, एक बिल्डिंग भी रेडी नहीं है, एक बिल्डिंग भी रेडी नहीं है।
अभी तक झोपड़ी में है हम लोग, घर का रास्ते देख रहे, रास्ता झोपड़ी में है हम लोग।
मैंने 2009 में घर बुकिंग किया था मैडम, आज मैं जब से रेंट पे रह रही हूँ जोगेश्वरी में 1 रूम किचन, आई एम पेइंग 50,000 रेंट एंड 2 lakhs deposit I have given.
To get the attention of an unresponsive management, distressed buyers grouped together and started protesting on site on the streets. At Magic Bricks Now, we raised this issue on May and pursued the management of DB Realty for immediate action. The DB management got in touch with Magic Bricks Now on the 13th of May and promised that work will speed up and the handing over of the apartments will commence within 3 months, that is, by August. The entire project was to be delivered in 12 months. However, the ground reality is a completely different story. Buyers allege that nothing has moved on ground and no work has actually happened. They also allege that the officials told them that the company does not have enough funds to complete the project. The DB management on their part has issued letters with a set of new dates for a phase-wise delivery of the apartments. Magic Bricks Now has accessed a copy of this letter which promises delivery by November next year, a full 12 months from what DB Realty had promised in May on this channel. Predictably, buyers are no longer convinced and are seeking legal action. Meanwhile, the management, who we got in touch with, has not given us a response.
However, despite the builder promising one possession date, which is November 2070 for the entire project, on the other hand, buyers, they claim that it is yet again a false promise by the developer, because they say that, whenever they have been visiting the construction site for the past 1 month, there are no workers there, working, and there is no work going on. The work is stalled. In fact, we also learned that out of 3,500 home buyers, close to 15 home buyers have already sent out applications to file an FIR to the Dindoshi police station, because they believe that now the only solution to get their homes is by going legal. This is Isha Shah for Magic Bricks Now.
Away from all of that, time now to focus on interiors, and our interior designer of this week, Rubal Dhanu, gives you tips for decorating office spaces. Take a look.
Well, starting with the elements, the design elements that, are quite different from the ones that we saw in the previous office. First thing is the flooring. Now, you have printed tiles. Could you tell us a bit more about it?
Well, since the space is small, we had mutually agreed to go all white. We've added a dash of color on the floor. We've used these beautiful cement tiles from Bharat Flooring. So we picked up the grey from the floor, and we've done the table in micro concrete.
Okay.
What this does is it doesn't add another element. We've restricted the color palette to about 3. There's the wood, the grey and the white.
And tell us about the light.
This parabolic light was designed at the office. We've used paper veneer for it.
Okay.
We went through a lot of options again for light for this space, but it was adding another element. So sticking with our color palette, we've used wood.
Rubal, coming to the loft, what's more interesting is, I think the staircase. I've never seen a staircase of that size, but how do you ensure that it's sturdy enough to take the weight?
The steps are such that you can put in 1 foot at a time.
Yeah.
We've also put a handrail so that it's easier to get on in that fashion. We've utilized the underside of the staircase with these beautiful cane boxes. I think again it goes really well with the decor. All the other loose stuff can go into it at the end of the day.
Well, Rubal, thank you so much for getting me to this office as well.
And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of the Property News and Magic Bricks Now. Thank you so much for watching. This is Krishna Kumar signing off.
You can watch live TV on our website mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/magicbricksnow. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at Magic Bricks Now. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/Magic Bricks Now.